How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Kevin, and basically on this channel we just break down different editing techniques. If that's something that you like to learn, make sure you subscribe and turn on the little bell there, so anytime I post you get a little notification, and yeah, you will learn something new, I'm sure. Today we're going to break down a really simple effect, and I've seen it in a lot of AWGE music videos, and that's this effect right here.
Look, I'm in the cut, the boy in the cut. Jump in the whip with a ceiling, go up, we up.
So, if this is something that you want to learn, make sure you stick around. It actually takes a bit of time to pull something like this off, even though it's literally only 5 seconds. I'm going to walk you through it step by step, and by the end of it, you're going to be able to pull off something similar. So, a lot of you guys have been asking for the project files for the videos, and the website is actually updated, and everything will be in the description below. Make sure you go check the website out, and yeah, you can just download them free of charge. All the files for this tutorial will be there also, and yeah, make sure you get them before you hop into it. Anyway, enough talking, let's just jump right into this and let's get going.
At the top of the load, gotta stay up, and I'm knocking me off.
Right, so I've opened up a Photoshop document, and I'm just gonna make it a 1920 by 1080 template. Just gonna open that up like so, and I can just turn off these grids by coming up to view and taking off the extras. Perfect. Unlock that layer, and let's just drag and drop in some photos that we want to use. So in the music video you've seen, there was a load of portrait shots of just people's faces, so that's what I've basically added into the project file. So I'm gonna just drag and drop 4 photos in just to start with, and let's just use these. Perfect. We can just drag and drop in our overlay as well. So come up to our blend options and just turn that into a multiply. Press lock on it, and now we cannot move that at all. I'm gonna right click it, and I'm just gonna label that red so we know that that's not gonna be moving. Right, let's hide these other pictures and come to picture number 1. Press Ctrl T on your keyboard, and let's just scale this up a good bit like so. Perfect. Press enter, and I'm just going to add in some grain to this. I'm going to add a nice little preset that I've made, and that will also be in the project files as well. So filter gallery, and here are my grain settings. So intensity 37, and my contrast is on 37 also. Come over to filter and just come to our camera raw filter, and here we can just hit these more image settings, load settings, and this is our portrait vintage effect. Like that. Perfect. As you can see, that kind of blows up the colors and just gives a nice little contrast to the picture. Just gonna do that for the other 3 photos, and then I'll be back to you when I have that fully done. Right, so we have 3 photos there, fully color graded and stuff. Let me just do it on this one last photo. Filter gallery, add our noise in, and camera raw filter. Let's just drag and drop that preset in one more time, and let me just up the brightness on the exposure on this one. Perfect. Right, so as you can see, the photos kind of make sense here. ASAP Rocky has a grill, and so does this girl right here. So I'm actually going to just add in some paper fold effects and some detail to this photo, as you've seen in that little ASAP Ferg video. Right, so in our project files we have some of these little folds here. I'm going to just drag and drop one of them in. I'm just going to scale this up to where I want it to actually take place. And I think I'm going to cut it across on a diagonal like that. Cool. Come over to our blend modes. I'm just going to change this to a multiply again. And as you can see, that makes a nice little effect like that. You can just press enter to lock that in, and then press P on our keyboard to get our pen tool. This can be a really rough cut. You can do whatever you want. It's completely up to you. I'm just going to come out here and make sure that that fold is still in the scene. Like that. And come back up around, right click, make selection, and enter that. On our folded paper horizontal here, I'm just going to rasterize the layer, which means when I press delete, it will delete all the things to the other side. On our picture 4, I'm just going to right click it and do the exact same, and then I'm going to delete as well. And as you can see, that has given us a nice little cut like that. Perfect. So as you can see in the music video, it's as if there's like a paper rip effect on it. So I'm just going to drag and drop some of these presets that I have in like this. And I only want a tiny bit of this paper showing, something like that. Perfect. Just press enter and let's just drag and drop that underneath. We can press our L tool on our keyboard and let's just cut out what bit we don't want. So I think that is looking pretty good. We're going to right click, rasterize the layer and just delete that top part. Now all we have to do is just deselect that and select the two photos. Actually select the three photos and we're just going to merge these layers. Let's just call this pic 4 and that is it. We're done with that photo. Right, let's just drag in a few more little pieces and yeah, spicing this up a tiny bit. So I have this photo right here. I'm going to use this one next. And let's just put this here. Something like that. Perfect. Press enter, add in our filter and our preset. So let's just come up here to our raw filter and cool. Right, let's just do some of the same things that we did for the last one. I have a few little scratches overlay here. I can just drag and drop that in like this. Just have this over the photo and you can be really messy with this, and let's just make this a overlay or a screen even like that. And the same thing again, I'm just going to add in another fold that I have here, and this time I'm going to just cut it out something similar, multiply that like that. Right, so let's just select those three layers, right click, and let's just merge the layers. So that's going to give us a white part on the other half of our multiply layer, and we can actually use this to kind of make that nice little rough paper effect. So let's just come up along here, and you can just be really rough with that. And come, right click, make selection. We're going to just come over here, press L, and just delete that. Deselect the layer, and as you can see, that's given a nice little paper effect like that. Last picture we're going to drag and drop in for this part is this one right here. And yeah, let's just scale this up a good bit, and don't forget to name all your photos. So this is going to be picture 7 here, and let's just drag and drop that over, and this is actually going to be underneath these like that. So I'm just going to come over here, do the exact same thing, filter gallery, add that noise in, and then come over to our camera raw filter and add that preset in one more time. Perfect. This one I'm actually going to just put a nice little fold on this photo right here. Give it a crease kind of look. Just like that. Press normal, overlay, and we're going to just multiply it like that. Like that. Looks pretty good to me. And let's just hide these other two photos so we can kind of see what we're working with. Right, so we can just come down to our picture that we're going to use. We're going to press Control on it, come up to our paper fold, and we can just press L, select the inverse, rasterize the layer, and just delete that inverse like that. Now when we select both of these and we merge the visible layers, there will be no white overline on that, and that is perfect. Right, so we're flying along. I'm just going to add in 2 more little things, and then we're going to go and animate this. I've added in my UK pound here, and let's just scale that up. I'm going to add in the US dollar like that. And all I'm going to do is just apply that filter and stuff again. And let's just cut out the sides of these and maybe put in some of those paper rip effects. So scale that up, rotate it a bit, and let's just multiply this like so. Perfect. Just coming over to my pen tool, right click, make selection, come up to that fold, rasterize the layer and delete it, and then let's just merge those 2 layers like that. Perfect. Let me just drag and drop in some of those paper rips like this. Place that underneath our money layer. Let's just come up and add in one of our filters to this. So I'm just going to add in our grain. just to make it look a bit more natural there. And now let's just merge these two layers like this, and let's just call that pick number 8, and then pick 9 is going to be the UK pound. And let's just do something very simple. Add in this paper like this, you just rotate it, and now we're going to come over to that paper and just press Control on your keyboard and click the little template. We're going to hide the layer and come down to our paper, right click it, rasterize the layer, and now we can delete that. You can just press L on our keyboard to deselect that, make that layer visible, Control T, rotate it, and now you have a nice little paper effect on that. Drag and drop that underneath like that, press L, and let's just delete the part where we don't want. And that is looking pretty good to me. I'm just going to press Control S, save this somewhere, and I'm going to just save it here. So let's just pull up Premiere Pro. I'm going to make a new sequence. I'm going to make this 1920 by 1080, just like this. And I'm just going to right click, new item, adjustment layer, and I'm going to drag and drop that in. Right click that, and let's just replace that with an After Effects composition. That's going to open up After Effects here, and we can just come in here and drag and drop our files in. Press OK, and now let's just go and double click that composition. So we have all of our files here, and the top layer, as you know, is our overlay. So let's just make that a lock. Come down here and hide all these other pictures. Right, so we know that that's going to be our first, and I'm just going to select and click all the ones above that and just slowly make them appear. Right, let's just see how fast that is going. Right, that's looking pretty good. So I think 2 frames works really good with this, so that's what I'm going to do. And obviously if you want people's attention to last a bit longer on one thing, you can just let it hold for a tiny bit longer. So let me see how that's looking. So as you can see, there's 2 layers there that I forgot to merge in Photoshop. So I'm just going to select both of them, and I'm going to right click, and I'm just going to pre-compose like that, and that should fix that problem. Perfect. Just going to press Control S, and here is how that effect turns out. Right, so that was the effect. I hope you were able to pull something similar off. If you did, make sure you tag me in your work. I love seeing what you guys are working on. Yeah, it really makes me want to keep doing this. That being said, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe, because it really does help the channel out. Make sure you leave me some suggestions on what you want to see on this channel next, and I'll be sure to make that happen. All the project files will be in the description, like I said, so yeah, go there, get them, and yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching today, and I will see you shortly.